Okay, so I just ran into this bug and I thought it was worth a quick video. You're generating a sitemap or building URLs programmatically in ASP.NET Core and the URLs come out looking wrong. Let me show you what's going on. Here's what I was seeing. I'm generating a sitemap and the URLs are just not what I expected. This is the URL I was expecting. Clean, SEO friendly, easy to read. This is what my routing is supposed to produce. So I dug into the code that was generating these URLs and found this. Url.Action, it takes the action name, the controller name, root values, and the scheme. Looks reasonable, right? But here's the thing. Url.Action builds the URL based on your controller and action structure. It doesn't care about your custom roots. This is the key insight. Url.Action works inside out. It starts with your code structure, the controller name, the action name, and builds a URL from that. It completely ignores any custom root patterns you've defined. It just constructs /controller/action ? Parameters. Here's the fix. Instead of Url.Action, use Url.RouteUrl. The old code explicitly specifies DisplayPage and home. It's saying, build me a URL to this action on this controller. The routing system obliges by constructing that literal path. For this to work, you need a named root in your routing configuration. Something like this. See that name parameter? That's page. That's what Url.RouteUrl looks up. When you call RouteUrl with page, it finds this route definition. The pattern says the URL is just curly brace name. So when you pass in name equals training, it produces /training, clean and simple. The defaults tell the routing system which controller and action handle this route. The URL stays clean, but the request still gets routed to home controller, DisplayPage action. Here's the mental model that helped me understand this. Url.Action works inside out. Url.RouteUrl works outside in. Let me explain what I mean. Url.Action starts with your code. The controller name, the action name. It builds a URL that reflects that internal structure. It literally constructs /controller/action, then tacks on query string parameters. Your custom roots don't factor into this at all. Now Url.RouteUrl flips this. It starts with the URL pattern you designed, the route you named. It says, what should this URL look like to the outside world? It looks up that named route, applies your parameters to the pattern, and gives you the clean URL you intended. The code structure is abstracted away. Inside out versus outside in, once that clicked for me, I knew which one to use when. Url.Action is fine for quick internal links where you don't care about the URL structure, admin pages, internal tools, places where the URL doesn't matter. But for anything public-facing, sitemaps, canonical URLs, links you share externally, use Url.RouteUrl. You've invested effort in designing nice URL patterns. Use them, especially for sitemaps. Search engines see those URLs. You want them clean and consistent with how users actually navigate your site. All right, let's wrap this up. Url.Action builds URLs from your code structure. It ignores your custom route patterns. Url.RouteUrl looks up a named route and builds URLs using that pattern. You get the clean URLs you designed. For anything public-facing, especially sitemaps, use Url.RouteUrl. Your URLs will match what users see when they navigate your site. Hope that helps. It's a small thing, but those clean URLs matter for SEO and for looking professional.